So they and definitely working with our property tax assessor, Miss Tina. So they've worked very diligently to make sure that this new legislation is user-friendly to the residents of the city of East Orange, whether they're here now or moving in.
But I do see it being user-friendly. So the parts that are underlined are the amended portions.
That is correct.
And the ones that have strikeouts are the ones that are being deleted.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Is there anyone else wishing to address members of council in regards to ordinance number 39 of 2025? Seeing none, this portion of the public hearing is closed. Madam Clerk?
We had one presentation for this evening that was disposed of at the committee meeting minutes for approval, September 29, 2025, regular city council meeting. We need a motion.
Sorry, Madam Clerk. Make a motion to, thank you, Madam Clerk.
Was there a second?
Can we get a second?
Second.
Second from,
Roll call on the minutes.
Roll call.
Councilman Gomez,
Yes.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Linius, Councilwoman Lewis, Councilwoman Fauntleroy,
Yes.
Councilwoman Holman, Councilwoman Garrett Ward,
Yes.
Councilman Awe. Mr. Chairman.
yes, it is passed. Madam Clerk?
Petitions and communications, the one listed on the agenda, we have one mayor's communication dated December the 8th, 2025, appointing Solomon Steplight City Administrator to serve as acting mayor effective Monday, December 8th, 2025 through Thursday, December the 11th, 2025. Board and commission minutes received, East Orange Citizens Housing Association Housing Corporation for November 6, 2025. East Orange Public Library Board of Trustees. Oh, bless you. October 9th, 2025. East Orange Senior Citizens Housing Association Housing Corporation, September the 4th, 2025. We have no report of officers, report of committees, Arts, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs. Resolution I-418, First Lady Paulette Memorial. Business Development and Zoning, no resolutions. Finance Resolution I-419, Payroll Number 24. Resolution I-4, Bills, Claims, and Appropriations. Resolution I-420, Authorized Payment of Accumulated Absence Liabilities to Former Employee. Resolution I-421, Resolution authorizing the renovation of the security second floor City Hall through the Hunterdon County Educational Services Commission Co-op Purchasing Program. And Resolution I-422, Resolution authorizing the renovation of the conference room third floor City Hall through the Hunterdon County Educational Services Commission Co-op Purchasing Program. Health and Education, no resolutions. Housing licensing and inspection, no resolutions. Planning and grants, no resolutions. Public safety, no resolutions. Public works, no resolutions. Law and legislation, no resolutions. Mr. Chairman, that concludes the items on the consent agenda.
Roll call, Madam Clerk?
Councilman Gomez,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Linius,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lewis,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fauntleroy,
Yes.
Councilwoman Holman, Councilwoman Garrett Ward,
Yes.
Councilman Awe. Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Consent agenda passes.
New business, regular agenda. There is no table legislation for this evening. Report of standing committees, Arts, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs. Councilman Monk.
Nothing at this time, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Business Development and Zoning, in the absence of Councilman James, Councilman Linius.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I have Resolution I-423 to be read by title.
Resolution I-423, resolution of the City of East Orange and the County of Essex, State of New Jersey, authorizing the execution of amendments to one or more trust indentures and related agreements in connection with the Brick Church redevelopment project and determining other matters in connection therewith.
Roll call, Madam Clerk?
Councilman Gomez,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Linius,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lewis, Councilwoman Fauntleroy,
Yes.
Councilwoman Holman, Councilwoman Garrett Ward,
Yes.
Councilman Awe. Mr. Chairman.
Yes. I-140-422 passes. Next.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I have Resolution I-424 to be read by title.
Is there a second? Thank you. Resolution I-424, omnibus resolution of the City of East Orange and the County of Essex, New Jersey, authorizing the execution of amendments to certain agreements in connection with the Brick Church redevelopment project and determining other matters in connection therewith.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Gomez?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Monk?
Yes.
Councilman Linius?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lewis?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fauntleroy? Councilwoman Holman? Councilwoman Garrett Ward?
Yes.
Councilman Awe? Mr. Chairman?
Yes. I-424 passes.
Thank you. Does that conclude the committee?
Oh, that concludes Business Development and Zoning, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Finance, Councilman Linius.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I have no resolution at this time.
Thank you. Health and Education, Councilwoman Fauntleroy.
I have no legislation at this time. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Housing, Licensing, and Inspection, Councilman Awe. Thank you. Planning and Grants, Councilwoman Garrett Ward.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Nothing this evening.
Thank you. Public Safety, Councilwoman Lewis.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I have no legislation.
Thank you. Public Works, Councilman Gomez.
Good evening, Madam Clerk. No legislation this evening.
Thank you. Councilwoman Holman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I have ordinance on second and final reading, ordinance number 30 of 2025, to be read by title only.
An ordinance authorizing the execution of financial agreements for payments in lieu of taxes with each of Brick Church Urban Renewal 4 and Brick Church Urban Renewal 6 LLC pursuant to the long-term tax exemption law and the redevelopment area bond financing law superseding prior ordinances of the city in part and authorizing certain actions in connection therewith.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Gomez?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Monk?
Yes.
Councilman Linius?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lewis? Councilwoman Fauntleroy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Holman?
Abstain.
Councilwoman Garrett Ward?
Yes.
Councilman Awe? Mr. Chairman?
Yes. Ordinance number 30 of 2025 passes on second and final reading.
I also have one ordinance on second and final reading, ordinance number 34 of 2025, to be read by
Second,
title
ma'am.
only.
Ordinance number 34 of 2025, an ordinance providing for a supplemental guarantee special assessment of the cost of certain improvements on and in an area of Block 683, Lot 1, in the city of East Orange, in the county of Essex, state of New Jersey, and authorizing the execution of a supplemental guarantee special assessment agreement in connection therewith.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Gomez?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Monk?
Yes.
Councilman Linius?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lewis? Councilwoman Fauntleroy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Holman?
Abstain.
Councilwoman Garrett Ward?
Yes.
Councilman Awe? Mr. Chairman?
Yes. Ordinance number 34 of 2025 passes on second and final reading.
Also have ordinance on second and final reading, ordinance number 35 of 2025.
Second.
Ordinance number 35 of 2025, an ordinance of the City of East Orange and the County of Essex, State of New Jersey, authorizing the provision of a subsidy by the city for the funding of deficiencies in a debt service reserve fund established for one or more series of not to exceed $1,650,000 redevelopment area bonds, Brick Church Station redevelopment project, being issued to finance a portion of the infrastructure costs for Phase 1A of the crossings at Brick Church Station redevelopment project for the purpose of providing additional security therefore, and authorizing the execution and deliver of one or more subsidy agreements in connection therewith.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Gomez?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Monk?
Yes.
Councilman Linius?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lewis? Councilwoman Fauntleroy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Holman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Garrett Ward?
Yes.
Councilman Awe? Mr. Chairman?
Yes. Ordinance number 35 of 2025 passes on second and final reading.
Also have ordinance on second and final reading, ordinance number 36 of 2025, to be read by title only.
Second.
Ordinance number 36 of 2025, ordinance amending ordinance number 50 of 2021, adopted on October 21, 2021, entitled An Ordinance of the City of East Orange and the County of Essex, State of New Jersey, authorizing the guarantee of the payment of the principal of and interest on not exceeding $12,150,000 aggregate principal amount of city guarantee redevelopment area bonds, Brick Church redevelopment project, issued by the City of East Orange to the New Jersey Infrastructure Bank in the state of New Jersey, acting by and through the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection for the purpose of providing additional security therefore, and determining certain other matters in connection therewith to cancel a $2,850,000 portion of the guarantee of the payment of the principal of and interest on city guaranteed special assessment and redevelopment area bonds, Brick Church redevelopment project.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Gomez?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Monk?
Yes.
Councilman Lydius?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lewis? Councilwoman Fauntleroy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Holman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Garrett Ward?
Yes.
Councilman Awe? Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Ordinance number 36 of 2025 passes on second and final reading.
I also have ordinance on second and final reading, ordinance number 37 of 2025, to be read by title only.
Second.
Ordinance number 37 of 2025, ordinance providing for the supplemental special assessment of the cost of certain stormwater and sanitary sewer improvements and environmental remediation in the area of 533 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, also identified as Block 683, Lot 1, in the city of East Orange in the county of Essex, state of New Jersey, in the amount of $1,650,000, and authorizing the execution of a special assessment agreement in connection therewith.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Gomez?
Yes.
Councilman Monk?
Yes.
Councilman Lydius?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lewis?
Yes.
Yes. Councilwoman Fauntleroy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Holman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Garrett Ward?
Yes.
Councilman Awe? Yes. Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Ordinance number 37 of 2025 passes.
I also have on second and final reading, ordinance number 38 of 2025, to be read by title only.
Second, ma'am.
Ordinance number 38 of 2025, ordinance of the City of East Orange, County of Essex, New Jersey, granting a tax exemption and payments in lieu of taxes with respect to certain property identified as Block 673, Lots 1, 31 Washington Street, and 2, 33 Washington Street, and authorizing the execution of a financial agreement with Vita 31 Urban Renewal LLC in connection therewith.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Gomez?
Yes.
Councilman Monk?
Yes.
Councilman Lydius?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lewis? Councilwoman Fauntleroy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Holman?
No.
Councilwoman Garrett Ward?
This one is 38? What
Yes.
is- Yes.
Councilman Awe? Yes. Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Ordinance number 38 of 2025 passes.
I also have for second and final reading, ordinance number 39 of 2025, to be read by title only.
Second.
Ordinance number 39 of 2025, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 247, Article 1 of the Code of the City of East Orange entitled 5-Year Tax Exemptions and Abatements.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Gomez?
Yes.
Councilman Monk?
Yes.
Councilman Lydius?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lewis?
No.
Councilwoman Fauntleroy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Holman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Garrett Ward?
Yes.
Councilman Awe? Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Ordinance number 39 of 2025 passes on second and final reading.
That's all I have, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes the items on the agenda for this evening.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At this point, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Vice Chair Lewis. Members, please check your text messages as Ms. Jones sent in a text that requires our immediate attention for verifying if we're going to attend a function. We still have few items on the agenda, but thank you so much, Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you, since that's going over there.
Open hearing of citizens pursuant to Article 4, Section 3 of the Rules of City Council. Each person wishing to address the council shall step up to the microphone, give his or her name in an audible tone for the record, and unless further time is granted by the presiding officer, shall limit remarks to 3 minutes. All members of the public are expected to conduct themselves in a proper manner. Any derogatory, abusive, or threatening statements will not be permitted. The chair will immediately rule such conduct out of order and terminate any further comments.
Anyone wishing to address City Council, please step up to the mic and state your name.
Marjani Jones, 276 Prospect Street. Good evening again, everyone. I am a proud, dues paying and active, emphasis on dues paying and active, member of the Oranges Maplewood NAACP. And I would just like to make an announcement about an enrichment program for teens called ACT-SO, which is an acronym. And currently we have 8 students, but our branch serves 11 municipalities: the Oranges, Maplewood, Livingston, Milburn, Bloomfield, Belleville, Nutley, and I may be leaving one out. I'm not sure. Verona. So I'd just like to read quickly. Each year, high school students across the country start a journey to sharpen their skills through the Afro Academic, Cultural, Technological, and Scientific Olympics, otherwise known as ACT-SO, from visual arts and business to performing and culinary arts. Participants work with community-based volunteers for a year to develop projects and performances. It's shorter than a year, though. We're working now, and the competition is in March. The experience culminates in local and national events where students compete for scholarships and other rewards. One more. Bear with me, this is small. Students can choose up to a maximum of 3 categories, and there are 33 categories. And I won't read everything from time for the sake of time, but some of the categories in STEM are architecture, biology, microbiology, chemistry, computer science, earth and space science. In the humanities, we have music composition, original essay, playwriting, short story, and performing arts. We have dramatic arts, dance, contemporary, ballet. We have musical, vocal, classical. We have drawing, filmmaking, photography, sculpture, and a few more other categories. If anyone is interested, please, we are looking for these students. This will enhance their lives, help them obtain scholarships, be something great to put on their resume when they apply for colleges. And if anyone is interested within the sound of my voice, please contact our ACT-SO chairwoman, Noelle Corbin, at actso@omnnaacp.org, or you can contact me directly. I'm not saying my phone number with this big audience, but you know how to contact me. Thank you.
Thank you, Marjani. Anyone else wishes to address City Council? Please state your
Hello,
name and your address.
Hello, I'm Farah Rahman at Fort Chestnut. On the record, I spoke to the department, the director of the department about the excessive speeding and purposely ignoring traffic lights by going through red lights, impeding upon pedestrian crosswalks, and not giving pedestrians the right-of-way at Freeway Drive and South Arlington Parkway by the car wash. I spoke to the director of the department about the street light that's out in the grassy area that's right on South Arlington Parkway South. That's a part of the police station. I have an issue with the flooded water across from the courthouse. Is it the drain, or is it that the street is not lifted enough to provide proper drainage? A suggestion for an open-air flea market biannually or quarterly. Is it possible to provide a route for the Christmas citywide holiday caravan so citizens can come out to see the caravan along its route? And is it true that the overpass and street work at Southland and Freeway Drive in front of the courthouse will last 4 years?
Ma'am, I know that are you addressing, if you're addressing anything to deal with Public Works, I would ask that you speak to the Director of Public Works, Director Collins. Is there someone here, Director Boyd, that she could speak to about the violations, traffic violations, et cetera? Yeah, I took it on the record that I already spoke to the representative. Okay, so what are you seeking tonight? Oh.
The drain in front of the courthouse is getting flooded. Is it the drain, or is the street not lifted enough to provide proper drainage? Suggestion for an open-air flea market biannually or quarterly. Is it possible to provide a route for the Christmas citywide holiday caravan so citizens can...
Let me just interject for a second. So are you just stating this for the record, or are you looking for a response tonight regarding that issue?
Well, I would like a response.
I'm sorry?
I would like a response.
Okay.
Do I need to read the other one too?
No. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody, again.
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Noelle Hardy, resident of East Orange, 104 Newfield Street. I do have a speech, but I'm probably going to not read the whole thing and just pick up where I left off. I want to say that I share my experience because I have firsthand experienced how a town will feel when these ghosts come into these buildings. In fact, I have a friend who lives in a building who can't get any of his needs addressed because his property manager or landlord is not there. So he has to email somebody overseas and hope for a response. I share my experience to warn people, but what I do come here to City Council on the record is to ask for help. On March 19th, while we all may have different views, Sergeant Joseph Akanza boldly answered that call of duty as a young man. Involved in that accident was another young man who was 14 years old. The way I see it as a person of this state is that they were two young men with tremendous potential and lost. It is unfortunate that we lost Sergeant Joseph Akanza, but it is more unfortunate that the 14-year-old boy who pulled the trigger is now sitting in federal prison waiting to be tried as a man when there was no state intervention, no state cops, no parents, no school contact involved. I am asking everybody to look behind themselves, to look at themselves as adults and tell me how we can help this child. Because he's wrong, but this is somebody's son, somebody's nephew, somebody's child, and he shouldn't be tried as a man when law says that he can't be. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to address City Council?
Virginia Jeffries, 236 Brighton Avenue, East Orange. Temporary Chairperson Lewis. Good evening, City Council members, city staff, and public in attendance physically and virtually. Concerns are the special City Council meeting Monday, December 1st, 2025, the official agenda not posted, and ordinances number 34 through 39. The special City Council meeting on December 1st, 2025. There was no notice on the agenda for this to be virtual special meeting of the City Council. The posted time was to be 6 p.m. However, it was moved to a 5:30 p.m. start time on extremely short notice that same day at 3:28 in the afternoon. In addition, there was no ability for the public to comment under the open hearing of citizens on resolutions I-417 and the ordinances on first reading numbers 42 through 45 that were presented on first reading as this agenda did not specify that this would be a virtual meeting and how to submit comments. None of these ordinances number 42 through 45 can be considered to meet the requirements of a first reading. Resolution I-417 is also questionable. For today's agenda, December 8th, 2025, there was a draft agenda on December 5th at 4:29 p.m. This is a violation of the Open Public Meetings Act, which requires a minimum of 48 hours to post the agenda for any public meeting. A draft agenda is not an official agenda and subject to change in numerous ways that have been presented tonight in content, and therefore does not meet the requirement for posting a draft agenda in lieu of an agenda. In the statute for Open Public Meetings Act, Section D, adequate notice means written advance notice at least 48 hours, giving the time, date, location, and to the extent known, the agenda of any regular, special, or rescheduled meeting. It says nothing about a draft agenda. Also, Under law and legislation tonight, the ordinances 30, 34 through 37. The big question here is, are the condominium units to be granted any pilots currently or in the future, as they are assessed property taxes? And also ordinance number 38, how many spaces reserved for tenant parking? How many units are one bedrooms? How many units are 2 or more bedrooms? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jeffries. Is there anyone else wishing to address City Council?
Jesus' name, amen. Yes, first, giving honor to God and my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Please remember that God is a spirit and God is love, and Jesus taught us to love God and love our neighbor and to love one another. And since God is our Father, we're all brothers and sisters, and our young people are all our sons and daughters, and our young people are all God's children and our children. And please remember, now abideth faith, hope, and love, and the greatest cities is love. And yes, please remember, I still believe that there is hope for our young people in East Orange. And as always, I'm still asking and pleading and begging you all to remember all of our young people who've passed away in East Orange, especially since 1975, because I am ashamed to say that we have a long pattern here in East Orange that when a young person passes away, it gets a lot of attention at first, and then a little bit of time passes, and the attention goes right back down. And I hope and pray that God is laying on my spirit to try to raise awareness about our young people passing away in East Orange, especially in 1975. And I still believe that we have to try to teach all of our young people to love God, to love their neighbor, to love themselves, and to love one another. And as always, I love and thank and super appreciate Sister Cynthia Brown and her staff, and I sincerely apologize for all my mistakes. And as always, I take full responsibility for my comments, literally with my life, and please put that on the record. And please remember, here in East Orange, we celebrate a lot of important dates, and I respect the important dates, but one of the dates I'm sorry to say, but I have a serious problem with, and that's July 4th, because that's the anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And please remember, the Declaration of Independence does not apply to Afro-Americans, African females, or to the ancestors of 99% of our people here in East Orange. And now, please, I'm begging you all, I'm sorry about any misunderstandings, but please remember, slavery was still legal in the U.S. and New Jersey until the 13th Amendment was ratified on December 6, 1865. And please remember, as Brother Brent had said, remember, it wasn't official until it was put in writing. And again, I thank my good sister, Sister Tamika Garrett Ward, for writing Resolution I-343 in December of 2020 to recognize the 155th anniversary of the ratification of the 13th Amendment. But please remember, that was during the virus situation, so only a small number of people in the whole world, even remember that resolution. And now it's 5 years later, and that's why I'm prayerfully asking and pleading and begging you all, if we can please amend the resolution to this year to recognize the 160th anniversary of the ratification of the 13th Amendment, which was actually just this past Saturday. And as my really good sister wrote in the resolution, this resolution will help us to be cognizant of how fragile freedom is, and that we must continually work to protect it. So please remember, it's not something we just do one time. It's something we have to continually, fight for. And as always, I'm asking, pleading, and begging you all to please recognize the anniversary of the ratification of the 13th Amendment on 12/6/1865, which finally legally abolished slavery, in the U.S. And as always, I'm not fighting with anybody. I'm fighting for all of our innocent African-American men, women, and children who are still in slavery up until 12/6/1865. And as always, I'm asking, pleading, and begging you all to recognize our living legends here in East Orange. And yes, okay. And as always, thank you all so much for all that you all do for all of our people, and especially our young people, because they're all God's children. And may God bless you all and all of our people, and especially our young people, because they're all God's children. And we ask these on you the blessings in Jesus' name for his sake. Amen. Thank you, Jesus.
Is there anyone else wishing to address City Council? Hearing none, open hearing of citizens is now closed. Call of the wards. Second Ward, Councilman Monk.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chairwoman. Another 160-year mark would be December 1st, 1865, when Shaw University was founded, which still stands today in Raleigh, North Carolina, originally founded as Shaw Institute, one of the oldest universities, along with Atlanta University in these United States, which later helped birth many colleges like North Carolina A&T, who had people from Shaw University who helped start it, along with many other historically black college or university in North Carolina and around the country. Again, I want to wish my condolences to the Guerra family on the passing of Juan Guerra Sr., sending my condolences out to Melba Guerra, Juan V. Guerra Jr., and Gaspar Guerra. Mr. Guerra was a resident of South Harrison Street many, many moons ago, and became a draftsman here in these United States and passed early Saturday at the age of 86. Also want to speak to speeding. I meant to do that in our earlier meeting on November 25th, almost 5 o'clock. There was a woman hit crossing South Harrison Street. Just asking people to slow down on South Harrison Street. There are a lot of crosswalks there, and there are businesses on South Harrison Street close to Freeway Drive. Aside from the buildings themselves, just need to slow down in our city as you hear residents coming to the microphone to talk about speeding throughout the city. And lastly, again, as we go into these holidays, let's not ignore our homeless people. A lot of the shelters are full. However, we can use 211 to help someone by just standing there with them if they don't have a phone to call themselves and help them get to a place or get the resources that they need aside from just a place to sleep. And that's it. Madam Chairwoman, I yield.
Thank you, Councilman Monk. Councilman Alway.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Again, I want to thank residents of the Second Ward and all the residents that attended our night out last Friday. I also want to give a shout out, missed this doing this in the last meeting, but for excellent tree lighting that happened last week here at City Hall, and for the decorations that we have outside now. We have become, it's become an attraction that you should come visit. People are jokingly, but I see people are serious that they're coming to do their family photo shoots right outside because it looks so beautiful. So I want to take the opportunity. I know you were serious. I'm talking about other people too, though. I literally saw families taking pictures outside during the weekend. With that being said, I want to commend, obviously, the administration and shout out to our whole DPW staff and everybody who was associated with the decorations outside. It really put the whole city into the spirit. And I think it was a special shout out to Ms. Harris, who's done all the decorations on the side here as well. Want to encourage all residents to drive by, come through, take pictures, bring your family, bring the kids. You don't need to go to New York. You don't need to go to Rockefeller Center. You can come right down Main Street and come to East Orange and get into the holiday cheer. So I want to just commend everyone who's associated with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Alway. Councilman Linnaeus.
Thank you so much, Acting Chair, or Temporary Chair Lewis. I just want to bring something to Chairman Awe of the Housing License Inspection, and I know it's something that he's been diligently working on and looking into, and Director Negron as well. But a close friend of ours, actually, he's a close friend of the city of East Orange and the council. His nephew, and forgive me, I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but his nephew is laying in a hospital right now in the psychiatric ward. He was sold synthetic THC and synthetic weed at one of the local smoke shops. It looked like candy. It's like in a wrapper and it says Haagen-Dazs on it. And to the naked eye, you would just assume that it's candy, but he was able to get that. The young man is under the age of 17. I believe he's 16 years old. And he recently got it from a smoke shop in East Orange on Central Avenue, right next to the Wingstop. And so he's been there for about a week now. I just found out about this yesterday. And I know he was going to come to the council meeting to speak on it, but we must and we have to do something, not only with the enforcement, but the legislation, because they are selling to our children. They didn't, and if you've seen this kid, there's no way you would know he's a kid. He looks like he's 12 years old, you know, but he's in high school. He's a sophomore in high school, I believe. But we have to do something, not only enforcement, but through our legislation, and we have to come down hard on these smoke shop owners, because if there's one, there's 100. And so we have to do something, City of East Orange. And I know that it's been talked about, but we have to really, really take that up at the top of the year. You know, no matter who is the chair, I just implore, you know, I don't know if it's me, but whoever it may be, we just have to really dig down deep on this, focus on it, get it locked in, get it locked down. I know that there's been some good things happening in, I believe, Jersey City, Sayreville, West New York, and we need to just continue to have those conversations and dialogue. I know Chairman Awe and Director Negron and others, and Public Safety Director have been really speaking about it, and we just need to focus on it, people. It's happening right here in our city. You know, there's a smoke shop every 2 blocks now, and we need to put an end to it immediately for a variety of reasons. But at the top of that list is our safety of our young people. Secondly, I also want to echo the sentiments. There were a few people here talking about the housing crisis, but not only is it a crisis in terms of just the lack of availability, but the units that we do have, people are being forced out of their homes. We have to protect our residents. Again, we have to codify via legislation. Whatever we do, it can't just be you know, something that is talked about, something that is practiced, but it must be codified in writing. We have to make sure that we legislate and, of course, enforce the legislation to protect our residents. We have to protect our residents. I said earlier to those students from Keene, we have to do what's good for the benefit of the greater good and not the benefit of the very select few. We must fight for our people, because what is happening right before our eyes, right under our noses, is that we're going to look back 10 years from now, and the city is not going to look like the city that we love and have grown up in. And so I'm imploring all of us, no matter what committee it is, myself, everyone here, we have to do what's best, for the greater good. Thank you.
Madam Vice Chair,
Thank you for that,
Madam Vice Chair,
Councilman Lenny.
may I request just to suspend rules real quick and just give some commentary on top of Councilman Lennius, if possible? Thank you. Thank you for that, Councilman Lennius. I just want to, and I want to put this on the record, and anyone that knows me, candid and transparent. What Councilman Lennius spoke to has been a priority of ours on the legislative body for quite some time now. And there was due diligence done by Councilman Lennius himself, who has brought over legislation from other towns, myself, and an array of other council members as well, in terms of doing a lot of legwork and homework. We didn't even want to reinvent the wheel. We were seeing what was working in other towns, and we went so far to invite those towns to come in and consult with us and help us. We are limited in terms of role, and so I'm going to take this opportunity on the record to implore the administration to prioritize it as much as it's been a priority on the legislative side. We've tried to pass legislation several times over. We've been fine-tuning. We've been doing all of that. And kudos to our directors who do what they can in their scope in terms of the powers, right? This issue is something that is a public safety issue as well, you know, obviously. It's a health issue. It's a housing issue, right? Which brought in all of us to combine forces to have conversations over how we can make this work. I don't know why it stalled, because we did most of the legwork. It was about implementation and us figuring out what the correct implementation was going to be and what's going to be the most powerful, so that whatever effects we've done will have long-lasting effects. I can go to bat and say on the record, for example, Director Negron, who shut down some of these shops just for them to reopen the next day because of his limited powers. We can talk about, you know, reaching out to Chief and saying, well, right now it's not a public safety thing, you know, in terms of a crime committed, and that's why we have to push on the health and code enforcement. So we've done our legwork in terms of doing the homework, and so I, want to echo the sentiments of Councilman Lenius, but I want to take it a step further and implore our administration to join us in the prioritization of that, so that since we have stuff in black and white on paper as it stands right now, is for us to figure out how we implement it, and that goes into the administration side. The work is there. We've done the paperwork, we've done the legwork, we've done the homework. So I'm imploring, our BA, and obviously I know the mayor will prioritize this as well. It's on the implementation side, so that we don't have this affect anyone else adversely in our community again. So thank you for bringing that to our attention, Councilman Lennon.
Thank you, Chairman Awe. Thank you. I yield and kudos, and I agree with you, sir. Thank you.
Councilman Ma?
In support of what my colleagues are talking about, to be very specific for parents at home, caregivers, today's world of substance abuse is much different than 20 years ago. You now have things that are being derived from hemp plants to create things right now beyond THCA, Delta 8, and Delta 10. These things some of them are legal, some of them are not. And as Councilman Lenny has stated earlier, the packaging is made to look attractive to the kids. So the work that is being done by what my colleague says becomes labor intensive, because eventually we will have to amend some things based on what's being introduced in the market. Some things have not even come to market yet. They're working on bringing them to market. And you will have a sensation unlike anything that's on the market now. That is the goal, to create a product that is unique from other products. There were state leaders that provided this education to me this past November at a conference that this city council attended. And to know what is happening beyond the hard illegal drugs like cocaine and methamphetamines and things like that, and what our kids are going through, please take note right now the serious example that Councilman Lenny has just provided, and take the opportunity to go out and learn yourself what you're facing with and what your child may take. It is not good at all. And I yield, Councilwoman.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Garrett Ward? Oh, she's not there. Councilwoman Holman? Call it awards, you have nothing? Thank you. Councilwoman?
Thank you, Council Chair. I just want to give my condolences to Mrs. Holmes, who is the wife of Chester Holmes, a postal worker here in East Orange for more than 30 years. He passed on his route, and it was on the South Munn and Freeway Drive route. We thank him for his service, and we thank her for lending us her husband for that time to bring us all of our mail and postal goods. We send our condolences to the wife of Chester Holmes, Mrs. Holmes. And with that, I yield.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Garrett Ward?
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. I have the same sentiments as my co-counsels. And it's not just the smoke shops, it's also the gas station stores. So, our children go into the gas station stores, we think that they're making safe purchases going in there, to get the chips or the now and laters and things of that nature, but right where the cash registers are, and I've called the chief multiple times, and she's, taking it from there. They're selling things that they should not be selling, things that the smoke shops are selling. So parents beware, be aware when you're sending your children to the store to get bags of chips. And, we know our kids go to the stores on their way to school, on the way home from school. So those are also places that need to be under the radar as well. And with that, I yield.
Thank you. If there is nothing else, I will entertain Councilwoman Fauntleroy.
I meant to mention this earlier. My mom was a psychologist, and so I really believe in mental health care. In this holiday season, we've had a lot of losses. There's a lot of grief. I encourage you all to reach out to your neighbors, to your family, to your friends. Keep in touch with each other and reach out to therapists and reach out for help. Now is not the time to stay holed up in the house and not to see folks and see the light at the end of the tunnel. So with all that is going on in our world and locally and nationally, I think it's really important to remind ourselves to take care of our mental health like we would anything else, like we would our cars, like we would our bodies. Your mental health is incredibly important. And with that, I do yield.
Madam Chair, can I just
Yes.
add one thing on
Sure.
a good note?
Go ahead,
I just thank you so much, Madam Chair. I just wanted to say happy anniversary to my parents. They celebrated 47 years of marriage on, 47. Gotta put some respect on that. Yeah, and I always say I owe East Orange my life. They met in East Orange, right on Main Street in North Clinton, in church. They celebrated the same way they met at Our Lady Helper Christian, right on Main Street. And, they're still doing it. They go to church together. They work out together. They travel together. And just gotta love them. The second ward is, yes, second ward. So happy anniversary to my parents. Thank you.
Happy anniversary to the Linnaeus family.
Point of privilege. Happy anniversary to you, Mr. and Mrs. Linnaeus.
Yes, happy anniversary.
All right, if there is no further business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
My motion, so moved.
Second? All in favor? Aye, aye.